approve a water contract with 72 Hours LLC doing business as National Auto Fleet Group. 7, approve a water contract with 72 Hours LLC doing business as National Auto Fleet Group. 8, approve authorization to deviate requested by the tax assessor. 9, approve amendment of resolution 06-2015. The reason is additional amount of $8,000. 10, approve authorization to deviate requested by the tax assessor. 11, resolution authorizing budget transfer. 12, approve chapter 159 budget insertion for 2022 COPS office hiring program. 13, resolution to authorize the site access agreement for 269 Power Street. 14, authorized application and execution of grant agreement with New Jersey Department of Transportation. 15, advise and consent to parking authority board appointment, Ross Freeman. 16, approve relaxation of the city laws ordinance requested by Russell Development. 17, approve amendment of resolution 012355. The reason is new dates. 18, approve amendment of resolution 012353. The reason is also new dates. 19, approve amendment of resolution 012352. The reason is new dates. And number 20, approve amendment of resolution R12354. The reason is new dates. All of them are with Langen Engineering. 21, approve a work contract with A-Tech Concrete Company. 22, resolution authorizing assignment of tax sale certificates. 23, approve relaxation of the city noise ordinance requested by Solar Crane Rental. 24, approve relaxation of the city noise ordinance requested by Urban Company. 25, approve amendment of resolution 112354, the reason with Iona Healthcare. 26, advise and consent to rent control board appointment, Ashley Kaplan. 27, advise and consent to municipal court, municipal prosecutors and public defenders reappointments. Municipal prosecutors Grover Adokio and Martin Drone. Public defenders Mr. Richard Fick and James Harden. 28, authorize acceptance of donation from Parking Foundation. 29, approve amendment of resolution 02204, requested by the Brunswick Cultural Center. 30, authorize tax collector to transfer other payments in several tax and utility accounts. 31, approve amendment of resolution R052347 with ERB evaluation and consulting services. 32, advise and consent to rent control board reappointments, Liliana Vela Gutierrez, Ian Lenny, and Barbara Blackwell. 33, approve relaxation of the city noise ordinance requested by RML Construction Inc. And 34, approve amendment of resolution 122348 requested by New Brunswick City. And we have items for discussions by the council. This time, the meeting is called to order.
Member Castaneda.
Here.
Councilmember Fleming.
Here.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Here.
Council President Escobar.
Here. Please be advised that the notice requirements of the notice of the time and place and conduct of all public meetings of the municipal council of the city of New Brunswick has been filed with the city clerk, has been placed on an appropriate bulletin board and has been transmitted to the official newspaper for the city of New Brunswick, namely the home news.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which
Thank you. And today, just as we are getting ready to start the season, I just want to wish everyone a happy, joyful, healthy, peaceful season. And let's not forget those who are less fortunate during this season. Thank you.
Second. Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin. Yes. Councilmember Secor Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. Madam Clerk, has the correspondence been directed to the appropriate departments?
Yes, Madam President, the correspondence received by the City Clerk's office
Thank you. At this time, we're going into resolutions 1 through 34. Is there any member of the council who wishes to address? Any questions on any of the resolutions? Any member of the public who wishes to address the council at this time on the resolutions only, please come forward. You have one time up, 5 minutes.
Hi, yes, Danielle Moore, Somerset Street. First, I would like to, well, I guess, 6 and 7 is similar, about trees. So in, parks, if I understand, you can tell me which one. I see a huge number for both of them. What parks will this be going towards?
Mr. Valenti?
Yes, specific to number 6, that is replacing the truck. We have a current 2005 F-150. So for number 6, we're purchasing an F-250 that will replace that. That's for the Shade Tree Division of Parks. And then the second item, item number 7, is a new vehicle, the F-450, again going to Shade Tree.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I have to say, good to see that for number 6, a new truck is getting ordered. And I will say finally, out of this whole year, wow, something that I finally asked to be done was allowing trees to get trimmed in New Brunswick due to where I was giving heads up plenty of storms. I will say thank you to the workers with the trees, I have been seeing a lot cut down and trimming. And I hope we can continue to go that way, because what I asked for is basically only to make sure it's safe for someone else. Would you please tell me what number 12 is? With this $250,000 for cops office hiring?
Yes, the city recently completed drawing down from our 2021 award, so the 2022 award begins now, because the awards of the cops hiring grants are not consistent with police academy classes at all, so there's often a large delay. So, that's it.
Thank you.
Don't find it, sorry, okay, we'll call it a day.
Thank you.
Good evening, Council. Charlie Pratt of New Brunswick today. I'll ask first about Resolution 15, the appointment to the Parking Authority. What's the effective date of the appointment? I should say, yeah, the
Mr.
consent
Brown, you know
leaves.
that answer for Mr. Valenti?
I don't have that information, no.
Okay.
We could find out for you when it's effective.
Okay. And I'm just, to clarify, this is the seat that had been held by Director Caputo.
I'm not sure. If that's the one. We'll find out. We say yes, but we're gonna confirm. Thank you.
Okay. And I'll just say that I know that the candidate wish him well. Also wanted to ask about another one. Oh yes, at the bottom of that page, the Nelson Street Park, $2.3 million for a concrete company. What can we expect at that site? Is there a timetable for the construction and the opening? Is it going to be mostly concrete, or will there be, stuff we think of as part?
Just so you know, ATEC Concrete Company, that's the name of the company. They actually previously did the Walton Street Park project for us. It came out very well. We're very happy with it. The park has an interesting design. It has essentially 3 tiers as you come up the street. The upper feature has like a dog park, a mini dog park feature to it. There's a general area for possibly different programs could be used in the park, but it's essentially going to have similar features to the amphitheater of Feaster Park, so that we're not digging into the ground, putting a lot of concrete in the ground itself, but there'll be a lot of rock features and things of that nature. There's porous concrete. It's a nice inner city scape.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. Do we know how much of the site will be pervious versus impervious? Is it all going to be, the word he used was porous?
Do we know that, Mr. Benavides?
Yeah, a lot of the site will be porous. So obviously, there are areas of the concrete on the sides that will be regular concrete, but there's a lot of functions inside the park itself that have a porous nature to the concrete. There's groundwater, with collection system for stormwater and all that. But it's going to be a mostly, open site.
Thank you.
Okay,
Anything else, Mr. President?
That's all for now, thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public? Seeing none?
Move the resolution.
Second.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. Thank you. Before going to the public portion part of the meeting, if any of my colleagues wish to address the public or say anything, I'm going to. Sure, anything?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Yes. So, in the spirit of that of the season, I just want to, I think it's important for us to realize that, we have to be grateful, right? And I'm somebody that I'm always grateful and I express gratitude for the things that we have. And one of the things that we do very good in Brunswick, is to give, we have the spirit of giving. I was a witness and we have seen throughout this past week, that spirit of giving displayed during the New Brunswick Cultural Center's Selfies with Santa activity for the community. We also gave in one of the local churches, the Presbyterian Church had a toy activity distribution for the kids. Also in our community, the Sudan Street Reformed Church for the past, which the spirit of transparency is my church. We have been doing it for the past 30 years. Holiday Festival, who was the CEO of Global Johnson many years ago, an excellent supporter and a great human being. And we gave out 965 toys to kids in our community. It was possible through Robert Johnson University Hospital, St. Peter's University Hospital, Rutgers, the Shield Program, the New Brunswick Police Department, and many, many other organizations that have been working throughout the year, especially during this season, to help our families. And I know that pretty soon, the New Brunswick Police Department will be helping Santa in our community again. They usually do help Santa on the 24th and the 25th this year, so it hasn't stopped. So, and also there's a lot of organizations out there that my apologies if I omitted to mention, that are doing great things for our community. Cold drives, they're doing drives for the homeless, they're doing different things that impact directly the residents of our community that most need it, So I am grateful for that, for the spirit of community and the spirit of giving that we have in our city. So thank everybody who does that. And I thank and wish everybody you have up to 5 minutes, you have one time up. This is the time to do it.
Hi, yes, thank you, Maura. I would say happy holidays to everyone as well, and a happy blessed holiday. But what I'm here today to speak on, I'm not happy at all, but I will thank the good news first. I will thank Mr. Dominguez and Mr. Tombolini. That was when I discussed with them a situation on Oxford Street with the one-way street sign being blocked by a tree. I met with Mr. Victor on the corner of Oxford Street due to where it's still going to be a situation. Either the city is going to have to drill another hole and move that sign up, or not at the owner's expense, which I say you should try that first. Chop the tree down. It's only like a Christmas tree size. That will maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Nope, not at the owner's expense, because it's not his fault. But something has to be done with this one-way street sign due to where is being blocked, and I'm in entirely too many cars. I just spoke to Mr. Victor this afternoon, he's the supervisor, and I explained it to him due to where something's gonna have to be done. Where like I showed Mr. Dominguez the pictures of even the recycling truck going down the wrong way because no one can see the sign. It is in a blind zone. Something has to be done. And while I'm speaking for Oxford Street, I'm gonna say prayers to Mr. Paul Dean that while he doesn't have a wind up having a heart attack, for the third time scaring the daylights out of me. Wow, with all these people that keep breaking in his house, I have pictures been showing the police department. What is New Brunswick Police Department doing? Not a doggone thing. Why? I mean, using his water. I was walking by. He scared me. And what I thought he was having a heart attack while somebody was sleeping in his doggone car, where they're all breaking into his house over there. Please, the police need to start doing their damn jobs around here. I'm very, like I said, and I will speak on continuing. Well, I would thank Captain Hira due to where he's another rescuer due to where this situation with 911 745-5200. Which I told you not to do, but like I said, somebody's going to pay a price for it, sad to say. Because like I said, it's not working due to where what? 2 times, a man attacked with an axe, due to where police never showed up at 31 Jersey Avenue. Some woman called me back from 732-932-2879, asking me an hour later, do I still need police? And then witness due to where Captain Hira, I was walking into a lady where she had a grand mal seizure, fell on the concrete, busted her head, bleeding. Wow, waiting for the police again, where Officer Cahill, he was the one on duty with both of these calls. Please, like I said, for the safety of what is New Brunswick Police Department getting paid to do? I will say, bless your heart, that while he was just riding by the fire department, I thank you and the fire department for doing such a wonderful job. Long New Brunswick Police Department is taking, and it needs to be taken away from Rutgers. Too many unnecessary things. What did they take? What is their history if I don't know them? Now, by time with them on the scene, being like I said, God bless you. I believe the Lord touched you the same way as me to be in the right spot at the right time to help someone. You and your firefighters. God bless you. Then, like I said, another thing I'm going to speak on, upset with the police. After I announced at the last meeting, wow, thank you to Keith Jones, the New Brunswick Police Department, for allowing the homeless or anyone need to stay warm to stay in the police department. Officer Moore and his partner had no right to go over to Code Blue and tell them that no one can come and sleep in the property due to where that's the county. New Brunswick police officers have no right to do that. And I'm going to hurry up and jump to the main thing. I got a text message yesterday saying due to where, wow, and I put it up on Facebook. I started my own group where it was saying no crossing guards over there on French Street, Jersey Avenue, where how many kids almost got hit over there. Due to where somebody calls out, Sergeant Bowl is doing a horrible job, not accepting going over all the applications that put in the past 2 months. Ever since he took over Lieutenant Triggs, he's been doing a horrible job. Well, I didn't like the Lieutenant Triggs' attitude, but what you always heard me saying, thank you with his crew, with his work. Something needs to be done due to where for the safety of the kids. I put the video up on Facebook today to show.
Thank you.
New Brunswick Police Department needs to do a better job.
Thank you. Anybody else want to call their comment?
Good evening once again, Charlie Prattville. Wanted to follow up on the request from the nurses for a resolution supporting safe staffing bill and training.
Yeah, were you here at the last meeting?
Yeah.
We already gave the answer. So. If you were here, we gave an answer at the last meeting.
Sure, what was the answer?
If you were here, look at the video, you have it.
You can't tell me?
We already did that, Charlie. Anything new? Anything else that you wanted?
It was my understanding we weren't passing the resolution. Is that still the case?
That we have no consensus, yes.
Okay. That's
So you know, why are you asking?
because folks are advocating, and perhaps they've changed somebody's mind, and perhaps we can actually accomplish the same thing that 6 or 8 towns have already done, given that the nurses have asked very eloquently many times. But I'll move on. Code Blue. Is it overflowing some nights? Is it not? Is there more demand than the beds at the Remsen Avenue location?
I don't see Mr. Do you have that answer? I don't see Mr. Jones here.
I know it's gone to capacity for a couple months, yes.
And then what is the, what do you do when it's at capacity? You tell people you can sleep on the floor in the police station lobby?
I don't think those are words.
We will find out what is the process from the, because there is a process, so, and I know that it has been discussed, but we'll find out what is the answer for you. I want to talk without having an answer.
Because, yeah, I think that it's better than leaving folks out in the cold, but, you know, for dignity's sake and for the ability to get a decent night's sleep, we should get them a cot to sleep on, you know, something, not just being on the cold floor like that. And yeah, if it's overflowing routinely, we got to have a backup location that's also accessible and communicate that to the population and open it up as soon as it's needed. I'll note that we had a huge storm with pretty severe winds and a lot of rain and no code blue that night. So folks were asking me, is there going to be code blue? What can we do? How can we get out of the elements? And I didn't know what to tell these folks because there was no code blue, there was no plan. And you know, I understand it probably wasn't 32 degrees or lower that night, but given that the government was warning people to stay safe in this storm, and there was significant flooding, not just in Middlesex County, but in New Brunswick, we should have had an emergency shelter for people. And I think that was a mistake not to step up and make that happen. Can I find out was there any discussion of that?
Do you have any other questions about the code blue, anything else that you asked me before we answer your questions?
That is all on code blue. I had a whole other
Yeah.
topic.
So go ahead and then at the end, so that we don't waste your time.
Okay, thank you. So it is clear to me that public safety remains the #1 issue in our city. Tragically, we had 5 murders this year so far, hopefully no more. Transparency is critical. Both of the gun murders this year remain unsolved. No arrests, no charges, and to my knowledge, no rewards have been offered for information that could lead to prosecution of the perpetrators, and I'm not clear why. You know, Mr. Williams and Mr. Abreu both had families that cared for them, and they deserve justice for the taking of that life. And I'm concerned that I raised this at the last meeting and didn't get any follow-up. The press release from the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office for both of these killings has not made its way onto the city website, even though other Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office press releases have. I raised this to you at the last meeting. I got no follow-up tonight. And I'll note that also the Nixle system wasn't used for any of this stuff. So if there's flooding or a night when there's code blue, everybody gets a Nixle alert. If there's an unsolved homicide, no one is getting that through that channel. And I think we can and should do better. It's a time when we're about to have a transition from a police director to a police chief. And I sincerely hope that the new leader of the department will attend these meetings and provide updates and answers to questions from the council and the public. And I really, you know, I want to see the best for the city. I want everybody to feel safe in their neighborhoods and in their homes. And I know that there's other people who want to see that too in this room. And so often we find ourselves talking around the problem because the ultimate decision makers aren't here. Mayor Cahill's not here, the police director's not here, and you know, we're sort of left to figure things out without them in this setting, and I don't think that's how it should be.
Thank you,
So,
Mr.
thank
Chairman. Before the next, thank you. Director Jones, if you could, Mr. Carter was asking about the overflow for code blue, if there have been any, and what is the plan when there is an overflow? And also why the plan, if we have one when there was the rain and the announcement of the bad weather.
Yeah, I heard them from my office as well.
Okay, good.
So one, there is no code blue in the event of rain. The initial request from the public and from everybody in this room was that we ran the initiative the way the legislation has posted. We go above and beyond. So that legislation does not call for us to open up a cold blue event during a storm, a rainstorm. Now, in the event of an emergency event, we did have a meeting, and the OEM coordinator's ultimate decision was to prepare for flooding. And we did that. We sent out nixos, we did all of the messaging to the proper residents in the area that would be affected. It's in terms of the overflow, we're at max every night now. And now we're in the process of trying to get the county to open up additional sites. I mean, I can speak to them through the face, but I've been saying this for 10 years now, that you go through 60% of our homeless population are not from New Brunswick. So we open up 4 more sites. Guess what? We're going to be at capacity at all 4 locations every night, because the more we open, the more that other towns send their populations to us. So to answer your question in a nutshell, yes, we're at capacity every night, and that is 27 right now. So every night we're at 27 people. The legislation does not require us to provide a cop. There's nowhere in that legislation you'll find that. It requires us to activate when the county initiates Code Blue, and it also requires us to provide a warm space. It does not say cot, blanket, shelter, blanket, anything like that. So we provide what we can, and we're in the process right now trying to get the county to provide that space. Even on our overflow site, they told us to stop using it.
What is the overflow site?
Excuse me, Mr. Carter, your time is.
That was my
expired.
question. What is the overflow
So,
site?
you're
Talk
expired.
to me after the meeting.
So you can.
Okay, I don't see why the public doesn't get to know what the overflow site is.
Thank you.
I'll speak to you.
We'll get you more information for the public for the next meeting if needed. We'll give an update.
Happy holidays.
Thank you, same to you.
Hi, April Nicholas, 143 Sedan Street. As you know, I attend most of these meetings, but I didn't happen to be at the last meeting. I also am interested in what was said about the potential safe staffing resolution. So for the benefit of myself and other interested people who weren't in attendance last meeting, can you fill us in?
Just want to give you, because I'm pretty sure Mr. Carter told you since since your partner. There was not enough consensus of the council to be able to support it at this time. Nonetheless, it doesn't preclude us as individuals to those who support it to support it in the, send a letter to the legislators and supporting the bill. So that's what happened.
Okay, thank you for filling us in on what happened last time. For the record, that's a genuine question that I asked you as a public official. It's not. I would be curious to know for folks on the council who are hesitant to support a resolution on the safe staffing resolution, what the reasons are, or what
We had it at the last meeting, we went through that also, and I'm not, it's up to them if they want to say that, I'm not gonna put it, but we did, Councilwoman Gaskin express, why she's not able, it's an ethical challenge.
So I work for the state legislature, so I cannot speak on this topic.
So if you look at it video, you will see it there, that she did say that, and I'm not gonna make anybody say the reasons, but just know that everybody looked at it seriously, consider all the facts that were presented, requested, but we didn't have any consensus. Okay?
And I know that multiple times the representatives from the nurses union did request to meet with council members as a member of the public if those meetings were ever entertained.
Not to the best of my knowledge, but they were, we did reach out to the city clerk to gather more information.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm certainly disappointed to hear that the council is not ready to support a safe staffing resolution. I'll reiterate for the benefit of anyone for the practices in the hospitals, not just in New Brunswick, but across the state, healthcare workers to provide the necessary services, people will die. So I urge anyone who is not in support of the state legislation or who is not ready to consider the gravity of it yet again, or at least provide some public and transparent reasoning as to what issue they see with supporting that legislation.
To speak on the importance of safe staffing ratios in the hospital. Didn't pass this resolution. There was no consensus, meaning like, or what is it?
No consensus is that, you know, we brought it forth, I brought it forth. No support to bring it up, to make it to the court, the bill,
Okay.
and that's what happened.
So
But
was
that
it?
doesn't, like, again, that doesn't, this time, yeah, so we didn't have consensus, so at this time, we did
I'm
not
just trying to
here.
understand you.
So, but yes, at this time, again, and I appreciate, and we appreciate the time that the nurses have been here, and we heard, and I discussed it with my colleagues, and like I said, there's no consensus at this time.
Okay, no consensus, that means the majority of people here are against safe staffing?
That's not what I'm saying, consensus.
I don't get it. I
So
don't understand what
so
you mean
that's
by
your interpretation,
consensus.
I'm not gonna go back and forth.
Because usually people vote, and then, you know, it's either yay or nay, depending on the number of people who are, you know, if you have a majority in favor, and that's what I was asking, you had a majority apparently not in favor because,
Different reasons. Not necessarily because they're against, some others are not able to vote, so that's what
Well,
I'm saying.
do you have a health committee here? You don't have a
Oh,
health
the
committee
council?
in New Brunswick?
Oh, I don't know, do we have a health committee? I know we have, not for the council, but I don't know if the city has one.
If this, oh, you don't know if the city has
No, the
one?
city has councils in different, the health one is specific, I don't know if they do. Do they have one?
No, not by that name.
Yeah, unless it's under another committee, but not specifically that says health committee. But how can I, what is your question, please? 'Cause I
Well,
don't
I'm
know.
just surprised because most municipalities know if they have a health committee or not, and they right away will tell you if they do. So that's kind of interesting.
So what is the role of the health committee?
I just like that the resolution is only this much, one page, it's not even a page. Down here, top of it, second page. And some people even went to college. It is, you know, it is, because people understand that it's a public health issue. Too few nurses, when your patient ratio is too many patients per nurse, this increased patient errors, things like that. Bed sores, you don't always mention those, but. So,
Thank you. Your time
the
is up.
rate-
Thank you. But I
thank
just
you
have a
very much.
question.
I hope you will consider this is an issue that affects everybody.
Before, your time is up, but let me ask you a question. And I don't know if you heard me before. In the other towns and municipalities that you asked, you know, you're talking about in terms of the health committee, what is the role of the health committee?
The role of the health committee, depending upon the municipality. I'm in a health committee in another town, and public health was our most important perspective, and communicating with people about immunizations and how can we best communicate about immunizations with our population in town.
Okay.
You know, things like that, and how can we get, what's the pathway to getting information from the next level up out to our community.
So maybe we don't call it a health committee, but there is information that there's other organizations that, you know, including the hospital that do that work in the community, and they meet with other organizations and representatives that talk about that. You know, what is the best way to, you know, to outreach to the community? What is the best way to, the best public health practices that can be utilized in the city? So there's others that we do that very well.
Yeah.
But thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Evening. John Shu, 219 West Australia Avenue, Madison. I'm just here for Robert Johnson Nurses. There was a agreement voted on last week. It was agreed upon. So strike is over. Just want to, as a public announcement, that it wasn't everything that the nurses wanted, obviously. That happens a lot in contract negotiations. So there is some enforcement of staffing ratios there, but perhaps enforcement might not be as strong as they would like and hoped. And that's why the nurses actually have still been advocating for the state bill. There's a state bill that mandates nursing ratios, and this is to cut down our mortality rates, for safety of the patients, for the mental health of the nurses. At the end of the day, they have just nightmares of they haven't forgotten during that day. So it's very that something needs to be done to be addressed. At Robert Johnson, we're hoping that that conditions will be better. But yeah, there are some people who voted against the contract because they are concerned about it. It's more to say that there's some shit that they are experiencing right now, and some hopefully we can move forward and
Anybody else from the public wishes to address the council? Seeing none, to take a motion.
Second. Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.